If you're anything like me, I'm sure you've found yourself at one point or another in this endless loop of work and play week after week. And it gets to the point where how we reward ourselves after a tough week at work. And so what happens? We become nearsighted. We forget how to be ambitious with our goals and with our lives. We allow others to determine our limit, and we learn to accept them. We learn to accept them, and we learn to quit. Well, and we grow this mindset, coming to terms with misery and complaining about it is a lot easier than struggling for a better life. I honestly used to think voice fixing was really stupid. I used to think, how could anyone fall for something like that? But I gotta say, it's one thing to hear about having it to others, happening to others, but it's whole not a thing to actually have it happen to you. After experiencing it myself, it it not only changed the way I thought about voice fixing, it completely changed the way I felt about my privacy in general. And it also completely changed the way I handled my private information online. Yesterday, I was at a park with my dog, and I noticed and I got into conversation with this stranger. And I noticed that he used the English word treat instead of 간식, which immediately caught my attention because it's not one of those words that is typically used with Korean. That alone was pretty clear indication he had a certain level of comfort with English language. Yesterday, I was at a park. Yesterday, I was at a coffee shop and I was having a cup of coffee, minding my own business. There was a group of young men. There must have been 5 or 6 of them. If I were to guess, they were teenagers. Anyway, they were having a overheated conversation about the new Avengers movies. You think they would be careful about describing the details from the movie. But they seemed they were too excited to care. I mean, I was lucky. I had already seen the movie. Otherwise, it would have completely ruined the movie for me. So please be careful when you're out in public. If you haven't seen the movie yet and planning to, and if you happen to hear anything remotely related to the movie, just shut your ears and get out of there. My parents and I hardly ever exchanged gifts I sometimes write a small card, but that's even only on special occasions. Most of the time, we just go to a nice place to eat and spend time together. When I feel like I have to get them something, I just give them some money more often than anything else. On my way here, I saw a dog wandering around here. It looked so dirty. It looked like it it hadn't taken a bath in several months. And it didn't have an owner. The worst thing was it looked so skinny. It looked as if it had nothing but its skins and bone. Judging by everything, I think it's pretty young. By the look of it, I think we can expect it to be up and running by the 7th. What do you think? The 7th, give or take a day, sure, assuming we don't run into any major setback. Yes, of course, we are bound to hit a few jumps in the road along the way, but there is nothing we can't handle. I get asked every now and then how I got into coaching speech. Frankly, I'm not sure. It just sort of happened. After finishing my training of comedy, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to focus on something that allowed me to to focus on a specific set of skills. And at the time, a friend of mine happened to coach of speech, and I decided to give that a try. While I tried to figure something out in terms of my long-term goals. And I was lucky enough to come across good work opportunities. And I found myself really caring about the work. And I've never looked back once. In my last job, we organized a group of higher level students to assist lower level students. We studied as a desperate attempt to provide the beginners with more frequent feedback, but it did more than just that. You know, many of higher level students at the time felt like they had hit a plateau, as many often do. But by the taking on the responsibilities, it motivated them to upgrade their game and improve. Dwayne Johnson and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't think it's a fair comparison. Dwayne, I know he is a very talented and accomplished actor, but he isn't nearly as charismatic as Arnold. And when it comes to overall impact in Hollywood, Dwayne doesn't even come close to what Arnold has done. Done.